know what's grappling me.
When we step in that ring.
What's up, everybody? Technical difficulties be daggone. We are here and live on WSN for the first time ever. I am so excited, stressed, sweaty. I don't know what else I am. I have been running around this place trying to get this thing ready to go for tonight, and here we are. Here we are. As always, in the Bobby Blaze, my goodness, Bobby Blaze podcasting studio with my producer, not my friend.
Hello.
Jordan Carlisle.
That's me. What's up?
Yeah, not my friend at all. We took a few weeks off from each other because we tried to kill each other with weapons. The last time we saw each other, not on air, but in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah, I was in front of a sitcom crowd.
Yeah, it was kind of
like
it was kind of like Three's Company, but with one more person. It was actually 4 people total in the match. So, but we are here. We are here on WSN, and I'm excited. I'm honored to be a part of WSN. I've been a part of WSN for a few months now, but to have my show streaming live on the WSN network, on the Roku app, on the Apple TV app, on Amazon Fire Stick, all WSN socials, and on WestWrestlingSocietyNetwork.com. I am so pumped. All that stuff is free, by the way, guys. It is all free. You can download all that stuff for free and find all kinds of WSN stuff. Like there's movies, and then there is more movies, and then there's wrestling cartoons. There's all kinds of stuff on the WSN app. If you don't have the WSN app, you're missing out. Absolutely missing out. Don't you think, Jordan?
Absolutely. I mean, I could see already on here so far, nobody's watching you on your Facebook, so everybody's already turned their back on you because you sold out.
Their back because I sold out. That's absolutely what happened.
Everybody's watching on the Wrestling Society Network.
I do want to thank real quick before we bring in our guest, everyone that's helped me make this happen as far as getting on the network and supporting us through the years, and turning the studio into something that doesn't look like a flat black backdrop here, and just help me turn it into what it is today. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for turning this ding dong with a laptop podcast into something that it is now, and I appreciate it so much from the absolute bottom of my heart. You are amazing. Thank you. All right, so I thought with the first show, I need to do something. I need to come out swinging. So I thought, man, Bobby Blaze will be great, but I want to keep Bobby in my back pocket because Bobby is an icon and a precious jewel that should be protected. He to me, he replaced Betty White in my life. When Betty White passed away, Bobby Blaze replaced Betty White for me.
Are you B. Arthur then, or
you be Arthur and me right now? Stop that. Okay, so I'm just saying Bobby Blaze is going to stay in the back pocket. So I wanted to put someone on the show that is, I said this in a post yesterday, one of my favorite humans on this planet, who runs one of my favorite promotions to step into the ring at that I've ever done it, and I've stepped into a ton of promotions rings. Someone who does it the right way, does it by the book, does it with flawless class, and I just love this person to death. I love their promotion, and I want more people to know who they are, where they're at, and what they're doing in the wrestling world. And what better way to do that than here on the Wrestling Society Network from day one? So without further ado, and if I can keep her head inside the screen, because I've just like bullied it up and bloated up to where it's kind of floating around there. It's kind of like, do you remember the Microsoft thing that would bounce in the computer? You know what I'm saying?
It was also on like DVD menus.
Yeah. Jess's head is doing that right now, but it's just because I filled it all with this hot air, just kind of bouncing around the screen like this. It's amazing. So without further ado, put your drink down. Please help me welcome Route 33 boss lady, the one, the only, Jess McCumbers. What's up, girl?
Oh, not a whole lot. I'm recuperating from the weekend.
No kidding. We will get to that. But in typical Brox fashion, I have this place was on fire 10 minutes ago because I was ready to burn it to the ground because nothing was the way I wanted it to go. Starting on time is just something that we don't do around here and never will. So anyone that's a part of this is just going to have to understand that it stinks, but it is what it is. Whew. Have you caught your breath from the weekend?
For the most part, still working on footage, of course. But I have been taking lots of naps and sleeping in a little bit this week. So hopefully drinking unholy amounts of coffee.
Right.
But yeah, we're about back on our feet now. So
Good deal. So what we're talking about, everybody, is this past weekend in Spencer, West Virginia, the boss lady here and her phenomenal crew ran a event in Spencer, West Virginia, Route 33 Wrestling at the Spencer Armory. And I've always explained Spencer like this, and I think you and I've had this conversation. I've said it on this show. Spencer is like the town that shuts down when wrestling is there, and the town gets behind it. Like like you use the Armory, and it's just I've been there enough to feel like that they have kind of accepted me and Troy as their own at this point. So it's like the whole town shuts down. They show up, they show out, and it's just a great atmosphere. So we are all recouping from this weekend, obviously. So
yes,
but let's and I've heard this story. I've absolutely heard this story. But we're on a new platform, and there's more eyes on you. They're all watching you now.
oh boy.
So yeah, let's back up a little bit. So Route 33 Wrestling. Let's start there. Why is it called Route 33 Wrestling?
Because we're on Route 33.
Yeah.
The
genius of this woman. The genius.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, no. We had talked about starting a company some years before Route 33 actually came about, and it was a name that came up but was not widely accepted by the group of people we were working with. And that group eventually fell apart, and I said, you know what? I like that name. I'm just going to go ahead and do it then. So
well, I mean, you're the boss lady, so you can kind of do what you want, right? And then the dude that hangs around just kind of does whatever you think is right. I don't care what he says; he does what you tell him to do. Like I've asked questions, and he's been like, "Go ask the grouchy lady." I don't know. So that's what he says.
Well, 9 times out of 10, what happens is I'll get super stressed, and I'll say, "Hey, what do you think we should do about this?" And he'll tell me, and I say, "I don't like that. I'm going to do whatever I was going to do originally." And then, like when that doesn't work, I go back and be like, that idea that you had. Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should have went with that. And then the next show, when you go, it's a vicious cycle. Ask, not give a crap, do what you want. Should have done his idea. Ask, not give a crap.
Pretty much.
I get it. I get that around here sometimes. Even when I don't ask, I get opinions. And I'm like, that's stupid. And then I'm like, you know what? That could have been a better idea. But I'll never admit that to anyone who actually gave me an idea.
Wrestling's a collaboration. So
yeah, people takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes a village to run a wrestling promotion. I think village more than I don't know how that works. I'm terrible at delegating. I feel like that you're terrible at delegating too.
Yes.
All over your face.
Yeah.
And I just have to tell you, listen, I don't currently pull the at all. But my producer is currently crawling under the camera so he can go pee. I hate it here so much.
They put the professional in professional wrestling.
Yeah, he just ran out of the room to go pee. When we moved everything around, I took his ex out to where because I'm sitting where he used to, and he could just get out, and I was over there, and he could just go pee. But now he has to crawl out, which is great. I love seeing Jordan Carlisle on his hands and knees. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Who doesn't?
Right. Michael, I see your comment in there, but my producer is not currently at his table, so it can't be posted. I'm sorry, buddy. We'll get you there, though, Mike. We'll get you there. All right. So Route 33 started because you're on Route 33. Was there a reason? So I know your background is in theater. Mm-hmm. Thank you, backup producer. I have two. Listen, I'm so big time now, Jess. I have two producers. We're going to need to talk about what I get paid when I come see you. So. You want your belt back? You just want to go ahead and bring it back with me and just drop it off. It's right here, by the way. I don't know if you can see it.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's right here.
Nice and shiny. Yeah.
Yep. And I plan to keep it that way for the rest of my natural born days. So I know your background's in theater, and without pulling the curtain back too much, we all know that wrestling and that go hand in hand, really. Mm-hmm. So is that what led you the wrestling way, or was it a love for wrestling, or what was it that kind of put you down the path of wrestling?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I very distinctly remembering in my senior year of college at the University of the Arts in Philly, where I was majoring in theater like an idiot, that I was real frustrated with something that was going on in the theater world. And I remember posting this on Facebook. I said, man, if I was hotter, I would just be a WWE diva, having no idea about anything. And then I ended up going to the International Stunt School in Seattle. I kind of unofficially minored in stage combat when I was in college. And my professor kind of said, hey, you know, this might be something that you want to try, do stunts for film. And so I went out there for a month and got set on fire and thrown off of things and all that fun stuff. And I was on my way back. I was in Chicago. I had a layover, and a friend of mine texted me and said, hey, you know, with your background stuff, I know this guy that's setting up a ring in Spencer, and, you know, it might be something you want to give a try. And so I went and I got bit by the bug. That's where I met Josh, and the rest is kind of history. That's the Spark Notes version, but the rest is history.
I kind of always thought you just kind of fed Josh one time and he was like a stray cat and he would not leave.
He wouldn't leave. It was the other way around, actually.
Oh, he fed you and he went, okay. All right. Well, I was trying to give you I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but okay. I was kind of thought it was him or whatever. My goodness. Okay. So it's funny. Like it's funny what sparks the interest in professional wrestling. It's funny what pulls everyone to it. Everyone. That's why I kind of started this show on that premise years ago of trying to find out everyone's story. Mine's different than everyone else's, you know, and then everybody has their own story. But the thing I like about your story is it wasn't about wrestling at all. Like you just said, it was a joke. If I was hotter, I could be WWE diva. And it turned into this. It turned into sleepless nights and sleepless days leading up to a show, and yep. This form being sent to this group chat, and this form talent being screamed at, being signed before the show starts. And I mean, it's turned into all of that, you know. And
yep.
You know, if you just would have kept your mouth shut and not had such an arrogant, you know, added. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, man, for real.
I do the live.
Now, hold on. I literally just made tacos before hopping on here, so I don't want to hear it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she made tacos, bro. Like, come on. He's just, listen, like any wrestler, and Troy will get this. He's just trying to get shit in. That's how wrestlers are. They're just trying to get their shit in. And that's exactly what. Yeah, that's what Josh is doing. Troy's the same way. So I gotta let him pin everybody because you just always want to get his shit in. You know,
we have to give Troy a little credit where it's due, though. A lot of the times, I recognized this pattern at the last event. Every Grappling Inc., maybe not every Grappling Inc. match, but a lot of them, is the vast majority is Troy getting tossed around by somebody 3 times his size.
You know, that's the Titan in him. That's not me, okay? That's the Napoleon complex this kid has, right? Like and I also feel like that in the grand scheme of things, when you're standing across from Troy and I, and you have to pick which guy do you want on the apron, which guy do you want in the ring, I feel like most of the people get it right when they're like, you know what, let's bring the spiky haired guy in, you know?
It's funny coming from the guy that's on the apron.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would keep me out too. Like if I was standing across from Titan and I would keep me out. I would keep me out.
Well, if Titan wants to be on the apron,
then he's going to have to get bigger, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to have to do. But honestly, like you think about it though, like if you're standing across from, you know, Hurricane or The Rock, who are you in a tag match? Who are you trying to put on the apron? You know, I'm not saying I'm The Rock by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, I'd say I want The Rock in the ring, so I want to say I wrestled The Rock.
Oh my gosh, this guy just wants to piss all over every Pitty's Cheerio I have. It's just how he is. He's a jerk. God. What a jerk.
We got to give Troy some credit. The man can grapple. The man can grapple for sure.
That is why he carries this team on his shoulders. It's not me. It is absolutely not me. I've always said it's Titan Troy. It has nothing to do with me. It's Titan. Troy is I love that kid with everything inside of me, but he makes me want to choke him sometimes. It is truly a brother thing. It is truly a brother thing. So
yeah.
We're good. My producer just said, "How's your phone battery?" Because we were using my phone battery cord to make this thing happen tonight. I'm telling you, it was a total disaster to get this thing started. Like I was at 3:00 today. I'm at work and I'm like, everything's squared away, everything's set. My backup producer's been helping me all day long. Everything was ready to go. I set all this up last night. I'm like, yes, for once in this freaking thing of the history of hitting the ropes, it's going to go great. And then we get here and it is a poop storm of, I want to burn this place to the ground. And
it only lasted like 3 minutes, by the way.
Well, it was like 10 because I was sweating. Well, I guess I could have been sweating in 3 minutes. I like to sweat. I don't like to sweat. I just do it. But yes, so it was a poop storm of one thing after the other, but whatever. Okay, so we are at you named it after the road you're on, Route 33 Wrestling. You found it in Carbuncle Raining on Brox's Parade. Yes, that's what he's doing. Yes, it only gets better. Yes, it does. I know. It's the first day jitters for me. Like the first time I wrestled in my life, I was like in the back with the bubble guts, right? Hoping I didn't poop on my opponent because I was freaked out. The first time I wrestle in any promotion, I'm like, oh, I don't want to screw this up. First time I went on live on air for my first podcast, I was like, I don't want to screw this up. And then it was just me and a laptop. So I was like, how much worse could it be? The first time I started improving things, it was like, I'm not going to screw this up. And now here I am, like, I'm not going to screw this. I screwed it all up. It was terrible. It was just,
we're here now. That's all that matters.
But we're here. Yeah. So we're at Route 33. We're on Route 33. We have a theater background. Carlisle with his sneaky drink opening over there.
Shasta Cola.
So we have a background in theater. You think you could have been a diva. And then we start the wrestling promotion. Then it goes all the sleepless nights.
Yes.
So I think we've talked about where you have graced the ring a few times, not just as the boss lady, the promoter. You have graced the ring a time or two as the boss lady, as a performer, or someone who has actually had a match or two, correct?
A match.
Okay.
I've done a little bit of managing as well. Yes, a match back in 2021. So just over 4 years ago now. Gosh, time flies. Won that match. Also, and this is not me tooting my own horn, but I still find this amazing. We went 30 minutes and it was no DQ. So listen.
I feel like there's a joke that's sort of being inserted here. Like, you're the promoter, you went 30 minutes, you won the match, you retired 1-0 in the main event. Like, get your shit in, girl. That's what I'm saying. Like, listen,
we haven't been there since. So, like, we used the time wisely. You made the most of the time. So
good for you to get in there and really like get yourself over.
Yeah.
How about a return? We interested in
I am interested in return. There's a lot of, I say this every time, I feel like there's a lot that needs to happen for that to happen. But yeah, definitely interested. And one of the things I've been saying for like, let me rewind here. I've always been the type of person that's like, oh, I'm not going to worry about getting old. Like, who cares about gray hairs and wrinkles and all that stuff? And like, I'm not going to let my age define me. Fast forward to like April of 2022. I'm fixing my hair in the bathroom and I see a silver hair and I just melt down, right? And I'm like, poor Josh didn't know what to do with me. And so like the past couple of years, I'm like, man, it feels like it's too late to start and I don't know. But I've had a couple of friends and you, of course, kind of say, hey, there's no expiration date on these types of things and go for it. And what's the worst that could happen? Obviously with wrestling, there's a lot of things.
There's a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's definitely something that I want to do. And I'm actively working towards in my own little way. So yeah.
Good. Yeah. The age thing, that you'll never, I will argue with that till the day that I'm done. Like I started at 39. So like, there's no number there. But I feel in my soul, when you said that you had a meltdown over silver hair, I will see them in my beard and immediately think, I need to Nick Hamrick this right now. And I only say that, but listen, we know Nick. Ain't nobody, everybody knows Nick. Stop. But I know he's going to kill me for that. I'm sorry. Buddy. But I see him in my beard and I'm like, I have to take care of this. I occasionally see him in my hair, but my beard is really bad. And I'm just like, no. And then I'm like, I'm not built to be a silver fox. Like I don't have it. Like you said, I could be a little bit hotter. I could be a WWE diva. Now I can't. I don't have that. I don't have it. Like once I go gray, like I lost everything I had years ago. Like, but once it goes gray for me, I might as well just put myself in retirement home. There's nothing I can do. I'm out. It's not going to happen. So, but I really like the fact that you've had one match and you were satisfied, obviously, with that match. I mean, you talk like you had.
I think so, yeah. And I'm really bad about self-critique, but I walked away from that feeling pretty. I mean, it was far from perfect, obviously, as expected. But overall, yeah, I have no regrets, and I think that I think it went really well, surprisingly well.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what's cool to me is like you done the match, you walked away with it feeling great, and now here you're. How long ago was that? How many years ago was that?
4, just over 4, I think.
4. Okay, so
Mhm.
you're 4 years from that, and you're still like, I want to do it again. Like there's never
Yeah.
say never. Like, and that's the thing is, like you said earlier, you get bit by it, and you do it once. Like the first match I had, I was still floating so high, at like 5 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. Like I still had the goosebumps after my
Yeah.
first match, and my first match was with Jock Sampson. I don't know if you're familiar with Jock Sampson or not.
Love Jock. Love Jock.
My first match, he's a prick. My first match was against.
I love Jock.
You would. Anyways, he was my first match, and at 5 a.m. I'm still floating high, and I've got ice on my nuts because they kicked me in my nuts. But I'm still floating high from my first match. Like, and still this day, like I go out the curtain and I get lightheaded sometimes. I'm so amped up or goosebumps, and there's no high. Like I don't understand. Like you watch these, you got get off Jock's nuts, guys. Come on, there's 2 comments in there. They're all over Jock's nuts. Like, come on. Like Josh
For
is
good reason. He's the goat. Said it right there.
he is a goat. He's a Billy Goat, and they're related to jackasses. The dude kicked me in my nuts. I will never like him. Never kick someone like someone that kicks you in the nuts.
He bought me a drink once. He's a good guy.
He kicked me in the nuts. I don't like him. So, but like the bug, I don't understand. Like, there's such a natural high to hearing your music and pulling back the curtain and hearing people cheer or getting mad at you based on who you are and what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that you had an effect on their emotion. It is so cool. So let's couple that with the and this is not an insult. Please hear it out the way I want it to hear. Let's
Okay.
couple that with the Mayberry feel of the Spencer Armory, and let's talk about that. I watch you during matches, or I'll watch you during our match, honestly, because there's 2 looks I give you during a match. You know what 2 looks I give you. You know what 2 looks
Yes, I do.
match. You know what 2 looks I give you. And
Yes.
it's the beginning and the end. I'll
Yes.
give you 2 looks. And you're a poor GoPro. But there's 2 looks I give you. But I will, you watch around and I watch and I'm kind of gauging people's interest and watching what everybody's doing. But like, I can see it in your face when you're listening to your crowd in Spencer. I can see it when fans come up to you're walking around and you're just checking stuff out. You're just observing your product.
Mhm.
And I can see it in your face when you walk by and hear a fan talking to somebody at their table or taking a picture at someone's. It's that face right there. You're smiling right now. That's it right there. It's the feel that you've created something positive in a place that you love,
Absolutely.
in a home.
Yeah.
And so, what is that for you? And I know what it is for me here, but what is it for you to be in a place like Spencer and bring something so positive to that area? How does that? I mean, I know you got to lay down at night and be like, God, I just really want to jump off a bridge. But like, what at the end of the day, when all the hard work it's done, what is it? What is it? What does that bring to you?
Oh my gosh. It is similar to that feeling of walking through the curtain and hearing your music or whatever. I think what makes it extra special here is the size of things. And I know some people will be like, well, my show draws 500 people. What's your show draw? Well, we have like 200 people here or whatever.
Right.
And so, but it's nice. We know everybody or everybody knows everybody. So it's not just a bunch of random people coming to the show to watch wrestling. It's people who know each other and they're coming to hang out with each other and they're coming to see the wrestlers, but they also know us. And I think the size of our crowd and the size of our venue is also a unique opportunity for our wrestlers and our people to like meet people as well and really like get down on their level and talk to them and like make time for them. And you don't see that a lot at least I don't think, in bigger companies and bigger settings. There's no time to do that, to go through and say hi and shake hands with everybody. So I think it makes it a far more personal experience. And the other thing too is I think a lot of our fans have had a huge effect on what Route 33 has become. I mean, Larry, the guy with the bullhorn that's always there in the whiteboard.
Yeah.
So much of what we've done has come from people like Larry as well. Hearing them and seeing their reactions and working off of them, and making decisions based on the way they're reacting. And so it becomes a very, very personal thing, a personal connection between the company and the wrestlers and the crew and the fans. And I think that's super, super special.
It's awesome. I will, from my own personal perspective, and Troy and I started doing this last event, not this one that was this past Saturday, but the event before that in March, which was 1 year for us. We debuted in March of last year in 2024. So in March of 2025, we started, instead of spending time at our merch table before the show starts, we were walking in the crowd. We were literally weaving in and out of the crowd, like, excuse me, coming through, you know, and just talking to everyone. And I like that more than anything. I'd rather do that than have them come to my table. Honestly, I know there's stuff on there to buy. It is what it is. I don't care. I said a long time ago, I never got into wrestling for money, or I'd be broke. I got into it for the people, to see their smiles, or their, you know, their cheering and stuff like that, or get to talk to the people. He tells me his name every time and I forget it every single time. I'm a terrible wrestler. I can't remember his name. But he always has a big, huge sign. He always has glasses on and a hat. And he's like the loudest dude in the room. Gosh, what is his name? You'll know him. You would know him if you saw him. He's at every show you guys have.
Red shirt last time.
Yes.
I know who you're talking about, but I also do not remember his name.
And I don't know that he ever tells me, honestly, to be honest with you. Like, he's so complimentary, and he's so excited about every show. That to go in there in March of last year and then not return until November of the same year, and then be there consistently since then, and having them accept and see us and be like walking through the crowd, and they're like, come here, take a picture, come here and sign this, or come here and scare the crap out of my child because they're so shy. Like, there was two, I will never, these two little girls on Saturday, May May and Momo. That was their names. They were cousins, May May and Momo. And I can't remember, I think it was May May was all about pictures with me and Troy. Like, she took like 15 every time she saw us. Picture, they could have been more than 6. And Momo was not having it. Momo was all about her pickle. That's what Momo was doing. Momo was gnawing on a pickle wrapped in aluminum foil. Oh, I've never seen. If I had the determination that Momo did in that pit with that pickle, I'd be signed by the WWE right now. Everyone would be. You'd be that diva, and Carlisle wouldn't be such a prick. So if Momo was all about that pickle, and I could not get her to get a picture. And then Troy told her right before he walked back, said, if we win our match, you got to take a picture. And she would anything to get Troy away from her. She was like, okay, go on, you know. So obviously we was able to retain our belts against 2 really, really tough guys. I mean, they beat the snot out of me and Troy both. Even me being on the apron, they come over and introduced themselves a few times with their fist.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to the Brotherhood. Hell of a match, but anytime, any place, anytime you want to do it again, I'm down. We're down. But we got done with the match. We went out, and then Momo was sitting there, and Troy's like, let's get this picture. And Momo was like, no, I'm good. She's still working on that pickle, though, by God. She is still on that pickle, just gnawing. I loved it. That's, I tell everyone, the place shuts down. They show up, they show out, they accept you as their own if you're doing the things the right way. And the relationship, the locker room is always cool. The whiteboard is always so detailed. Say that. That's all I'm going to say. The whiteboard's always detailed. The pizza's always good. It's just a place that you go to, and wrestlers should and can feel safe. Fans can go and feel safe. And I applaud you for what you do and how you do it there at Route 33. And thank you for giving us the opportunity, especially the ones that you've given the opportunity here from the Art of Grappling. We appreciate you completely.
Hey, we appreciate you coming.
Yeah. So let's turn gears a little bit. We're not turn gears so much. Let's get away from the mushy crap. We are working on at Route 33 a tournament for a new championship.
We are, indeed. And I guess you want me to talk about that, do you?
Those are called segues in the business. Yeah.
Yes. So, the city of Spencer was gracious enough to sponsor this tournament. It is the Wild and Wonderful West Virginia Championship Tournament. It is a mouthful to say and a lot to type on all of my photos that I post. So I got to recap. I got to think. We've had how many matches now? 4.
Well, I know we've had one because the fella to my right
I remember one.
He lost one. I
wouldn't say
Little
lost.
Carbuncle.
Yeah, Carbuncle lost one. I remember.
Yeah, I wouldn't say lost. I'd say it was kind of a disappointment.
Well, that's kind of all your matches to me. Go on. That's fine.
Yeah, so we had John D. Crazy Hillbilly advanced over Jordan Carlisle.
Advanced. That's a good way to put it.
Advanced. He also broke into my house, by the way. John D. Crazy Hillbilly. He broke into my
that's
house.
right. He did last. Yeah.
He broke into my house and left a note on my dog. You want to pet that dog?
You want to pet that dog?
So.
Anyway, so Tatiana, who did she? I'm trying to remember who she.
Reese Ramon.
Yeah, Reese. Right. Gosh, I still have show brain for this week.
I got you, girl. I got you. Listen.
Let me go on a tangent here. So I was making tacos earlier, right? You drain the grease out of the hamburger meat and whatever. Yes, they're white people tacos. Okay, bear with me.
We're getting canceled first day on WSN. Just said white people tacos. We are canceled, guys. Thanks. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
That's the show. Sorry. Anyway, so I pour it into like what is it called? Like a strainer into a bowl, right? So I don't have to like dump it outside or whatever. And so I'm standing there and I'm putting my seasoning in, and Josh is looking down at the counter. I had not used a bowl. I had used 2 strainers and dumped grease all over the countertop. And that if that is not a perfect illustration of what my brain is like for at least 1 week following a show and leading up to a show, I don't know what is.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, Tatiana and Reese Ramon. Tatiana went over, and so she's advancing. And then this past weekend, we had 2 more. Colby Max made her Route 33 wrestling debut against Audrey Allen, who I absolutely adore, and we haven't seen her for about a year, I think. So that was
I think it was in March when we were there last time.
Yeah.
For our first time was last time I saw her there.
Yeah. So Colby won that one, and so she'll be advancing to the next round, and we'll be facing Tatiana on July 12th. And then who else? Oh yeah, Nick Hamrick against who did he?
Lifeguard Ross.
Who
Not
was
Lifeguard Ross.
No.
Caleb Throne. My goodness.
Oh my gosh. See, we're both brains are melted. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Kurt. Yeah, my bad.
Anyway. So this was also Caleb's debut for us, and really enjoyed working with him. He's an interesting character.
Yes.
Unfortunately, thanks to A. Dick Vickers, as always, Nick Hamrick won that match, and so he's advancing and will be facing John D in July. So that should be that's going to be. I'm interested in seeing that match. I don't think you could get 2 more different people in the ring than Nick Hamrick and John D, to be honest. But
I don't know. It depends. If you look at John D just the right way with his mask on, I feel like it's the same color as Nick's hair.
Like if you squint a little bit.
Yeah, and it's whatever color that he pulls out of the Walmart aisle in the Just for Men section. It's pitch black, I think is what he uses.
I was just thinking, I was like, you've never seen John D. Crazy Hillbilly and Nick Hamrick in the same room before either. So
Whoa. You know what? He never says anything intelligent. That right there might have been the most intelligent thing he's ever seen. How would they pull that off, though?
Y'all should let me talk more. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't want you to screw it up though. Like you have nuggets like that, little hidden gems.
We'll keep it that way.
Little hidden gems, and how would they pull that off? Wonder if Nick and John D. Crazy Hillbilly. I guess I could make some comparisons.
Because we've had both of them on the show back in the past, whenever we were not on the network. But
we can talk about that. It's not like it's a thing. We can talk about before WSN.
Okay, cool.
It's okay.
Cool.
It's like. Yeah, I'm proud of the past.
I think vocally there are some similarities that could be said there.
Yeah, there is.
So yeah.
I wonder if we went back and looked, we could probably find Nick Hamrick in some overalls on his Facebook page. I bet. We need to see.
I wonder how he tucks all that hair up into the mask, though.
I wonder how he gets a head in a mask. That you talk about swelling heads. I'm telling you, that dude looks like a hot air balloon walking around. But when it's been painted terribly, you know what I'm saying? When it's just like it's been taking a spray paint, it's terrible. What a diva.
Oh
Dude's a diva.
gosh.
What a diva.
That's a nice jacket he has, though. I admire the jacket every time he comes
Jacket
in.
is nice.
Like,
The jacket's nice. Speaking of hair, whatever Nick Hamrick has done to his hair is one thing, but what has A. Dick Vickers done to grow hair all of a sudden? Like, what is this? Talk about just for men. Like, where does he went to found the fountain of youth of hair to grow this luscious lock on top of his head?
Like a human chia pet.
It is like it is. Wonder if that's what he's doing. Wonder if he's like spread some peanut butter and some seeds on his head and just watered himself every so often. It's wonderful.
It does
You
kind of
have
look
to
like
see the sunlight for it to grow, though, and he's very pasty, so I don't know. Like, I get the sense that he stays.
Yes, first white people tacos, now pasty. What girl? Listen, I said you're based out of Spencer, West Virginia. You don't have to also feed the stereotype. Okay, calm down there.
Look though, like I'm reflecting. It's okay.
She's neon white, guys.
I am neon white.
Hey, did you put that comment in there from Josh? Hey, Dick wears roadkill on his head. I
was gonna say it looks like whenever you like in the middle of the night, you just go down to the kitchen, you get the jar of peanut butter down, you just like stick a finger in, like whenever you get that little whip out.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
what it was on the end of
like
your finger. Yeah, it does kind of look like that, doesn't it? It's rather sad. Nick has a five. Oh, please put that one up there. This right here is why I love your husband more than you love him. The things like you just said. Nick has a $5 spray on tan. No, what happens, Josh, is he gives the lady $5 and she just doesn't give him his change back. She just keeps it for a tip because it's not worth the. Oh my God, dude looks like. Have you ever seen There's Something About Mary, Jess? Have you ever seen There's Something About Mary? Do you know where I'm going with this? You know, like Mary's best friend in that movie, the little old lady that's in the moo-moo. That yes, it hit you, didn't it? The lady that's in the moo-moo that is way darker than she should be, and definitely has caught some sort of cancerous, terrible disease from the sun, too much of the sun. That's what I feel like Nick is going for. Like, I feel like as for Halloween one time, A Dick should go as Mary with the moose in her hair, in his hair, and then A Dick should be the little lady in the moo-moo, and I feel like they'd win every contest there is to win.
I mean, we do have an event on November 1st. It is a masquerade ball, though. But I'm not against other Halloween costumes.
Look at you breaking news and stuff like that. Like you're out there just telling things that
Wait, what was the Jim Carrey movie where he had like multiple personalities?
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Where he's like, "Oh my God, a human Q-tip."
God. Oh man, I
think Brox has to share a locker room with Nick on the next event.
And it's already impossible because his head's so big. It's crazy. Like he comes in. Listen. This is nothing I'm not say to him. I'm just going to tell you straight up. I say all these things to him straight up to his face. Nick's a character, and whatever. But he and Nick had a really good match though. Or he and Caleb had a really good match though. They had a phenomenal match. Caleb is one of the guys. So Caleb started the same night here at the Autograph that me and Troy did. On the first night the doors were open. Caleb is the only remaining day one person. Caleb, Troy, and I started all on the same night, the very first night the doors opened. So he's been around for a minute. He and I have beat each other to where they're bloody, and he has got to the point now where he's trying to repair those relationships in his life, where he is learning to not be such a douche nugget. He's getting there. He's definitely getting there. But he done well in Spencer. He done well against Nick, and the crowd liked him. So he done really well. Yeah. So we got a tournament.
That's where we were.
Tournament. ADD is real in this group, guys. The squirrels. So we have a tournament for the Country Roads. I forgot what it's called.
The Wild and Wonderful West Virginia Championship. Yes.
Yeah, I could not remember. So there's no more. So we're dead set in this tournament. There's no more matches. Like we're in the bracket of the tournament. There's no more okay. So we're in what round 2 or 3 at this point?
3. This will be semifinals coming up in July.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about July.
All right.
I always try to weasel a match out of you, always. And now listen, you told us a match already, I believe, for July 12th. I think you said Tatiana and Colby. You said that a minute ago.
I did.
I did not pull that one out of you. That does not count.
And we have Nick Hamrick and John D. Yes.
That was also one you kind of put
2.
out there. I didn't talk you into one. So this is this portion of the show where I try to talk a match out of you, or at least some people that might be there. Maybe not a match. Do we have any fun people that might be at Route 33 July 12th or a match? Give me some breaking news. I love breaking news on my show. This is the first show on WSN.
Oh gosh.
You have to there's got to be some something to leave them talking, like, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, let's let them get them talking. Here's what it is. It's the same thing as a training night here. I tell them in there, Bobby and I tell them in there, sell us a ticket to this show when you're doing your promo. So here's what I want you to do, Jess.
Oh gosh.
Tell the viewers, give them a reason to want to come to Spencer, West Virginia, because we've done this. The indie wrestling experience came to Spencer, West Virginia, and caught a show. Our boy Bob, I love Bob, by the way. Bob's my guy. Came and reviewed the show. He was awesome. I was on his on their podcast before the Route 33 show. And then I think that weekend, actually, he showed up to the show. Phenomenal podcast. Check them out. The indie wrestling experience. So sell us a ticket. Tell us, give us a reason to drive to Spencer. I already have a reason. It's setting right there. Tell the people that don't have that right there, why they should come to Spencer. Give them a reason to, Jess. Let's get a reason to do this.
Okay, well, like you said, number 1, Grappling Inc. will be there defending their tag team titles, of course. Okay, I do have one. It's not necessarily a happy reason, but it's a big reason, literally and figuratively. So this past Saturday, we had a number 1 contenders match between Michael Anthony and the Mountain King. Mm-hmm. And that match did not end the way I had hoped. No. Michael Anthony is now the number 1 contender to the Openweight Championship. We also have a new Openweight champion in the Babushka Baron, Jeffrey John, who finally defeated Gorgeous Morgan Taylor. Mm-hmm. So that means on July 12th, Jeffrey John's first title defense is going to be none other than the Leviathan Michael Anthony. So starting his title run out, that is a huge challenge. I mean, I talk a lot of smack about Mr. Anthony. I do. He has a way of pushing my buttons to make me not professional, but I have to give the devil his due and say, like, he's a monster in the ring, and that's going to be a really, really big. That's a tall order for Jeffrey John starting out.
The puns are running rampant right now, Jess.
They are. Intend your puns, you cowards. So that's our main event for July, and if that doesn't make you want to buy a ticket, I don't know what would.
Speaking from personal experience, I have shared the ring with Michael Anthony on 3 occasions. Mm-hmm. On 3 occasions. Now, we opened the show letting everyone know that Troy probably knows better than anyone Michael Anthony's wrath. Sorry, buddy. But Michael Anthony is big. He's strong. And he doesn't give a crap about what anybody has to say. Being in the ring with the guy 3 times, he has made me question being in the business a couple times, honestly. But we did make a promise to you about taking care of your Michael Anthony problem, so we had to do that. But I feel like him not getting his way with the tag titles, and him and Heroes thing, Michaels and Heroes thing, and then with Jager, I feel like that this is all just brewing inside this human. This is it is all these things are the last few months. Like December was really good for him because he won more medals than brain cells he's got. So that was good for him. But like I feel like that all these I know, right? So I feel like all these things over the last few months have kind of been brewing onto him, and I feel like the attack on you. So I'm wondering, like, does that where it blows up at? Does it blow up in probably the biggest stage that he's ever faced in Route 33?
I don't know. I don't know. I would agree. He's like a tornado with wearing a meat suit, basically. Just a path of destruction everywhere he goes. Yeah, I don't know. I will admit I'm a little concerned for Jeffrey John, and Jeffrey John's an incredible athlete. I mean, I think if anything, this past weekend has proven that. But Michael Anthony is a different breed. I mean, I've said everything I can. The man's a monster, and like you said, he does not care about anybody else's well-being, anybody else's opinions. He's gonna come in there and do what he wants. Now, the interesting thing, though, clotheslining Michael Anthony is like slamming a car into a big wall of meat.
Big mean man slapping man meat is what that is.
That is. Yeah. Anyway, something that I've noticed though, he'll square up to just about anybody, but here lately, when Hero has, popped in, so to speak, Michael Anthony doesn't want any of that. That's one person that he seems to kind of not want to engage with, and I don't know if it's the previous personal relationship that the two have had as a tag team and the way that fell apart, or if it's something else. I don't know. That's something I noticed this weekend that I'm kind of keeping my eye on.
That's a thing for me coming from I mean Troy and I are tight. But you spend so much time in a vehicle going down the road with someone or train with them or go to war with them. You see that side of them, and it can make you question your own immortality against that person.
Sure.
I've watched Troy get the snot kicked out of him and be able to walk out of a ring. So like that's a guy that I don't, like if I had to go to war with that guy, and I have long before grappling was a thing. Troy and I have been in a ring before. You see different things in those people, and you question whether you can handle it or not. And I think that you couple that with the personal distaste that Hero has for Michael because of what he did to Hero. That would be a ticket that I would buy, even though I'm already in the room. I would love to see Hero get their hands on Michael and get the revenge they deserve. Honestly,
without a doubt.
But jumping the gun here, Michael is going to take his rage out to maybe win some more gold. We'll see what happens.
We'll see
on July 12th.
July 12th, yeah.
West Virginia. They turn the lights out and then they head to the Spencer Armory. When they do that, it's amazing. Listen, your merch person is one of the best salesmen I've ever met in my life.
Jess Fisher.
Sold me Jess. Yes, Jess Fisher. That's right. Jess sold me a mouthpiece that lights up because my table is always right next to them. I feel like that is your doing, by the way, because you signed. You see me coming. She sold me a mouthpiece last time the lights out. I about gagged on it and died. Thank you. So this time she comes to me and she says, I have glasses that light up and they'll match your mouthpiece. I was like, you think I still got that mouthpiece? You outside your mind. I about died on that thing 3 times just going to the ring. So I don't have the mouthpiece. I don't have the glasses either. I gave them to a fan. But then she told me where she got the glasses. Like, I want those glasses. I really want those glasses. So I bought glasses. So product placement, sucker placement next to the product placement. Well played, ma'am. You done a great job there. I definitely bought. And if she gets anything fun, I'm going to buy more of that. I didn't get a new shirt though. I meant to buy a new shirt. Y'all have new shirts.
We do have new shirts. I was gonna wear it, but it blends into the back of my.
It's awesome. It was a cool looking shirt. I bought a red one the last time I was there. Actually, I think I wore it to the ring. And then I was going to buy another one. Troy was like, "Hey, look, they got shirts." I'm like, "Yeah." And then I bought glasses. Like, We're just gonna have to talk about my fee from now. It's going to have to go up. I'm gonna need
Spending
that
money.
shirt. Yeah, no, I'm gonna need that and a shirt, or that and a stipend at the merch table. I need a stipend at the merch table. Is what I need. Yes, where can all these lovely people find Route 33 on social media and different places?
We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube right now. We had a TikTok, but I took that down when all the TikTok nonsense was happening. And we also have a Threads and Blue Sky, but it is so rarely updated because it's just me doing all of that. But we're working on getting those updated, and hopefully in the near future we will have a Patreon going up with some old footage, some old shows, fully edited, for less than the price of a regular ticket. So all that information is coming soon. But the best way to reach us is on Facebook.
Yep. Very cool. July 12th, correct? July 12th, the next event.
July 12th. Yep.
And you have tons of sponsors there in Spencer where they can pick up tickets in town, or you guys have tickets available at the door typically?
We have them at the door. We have them on Eventbrite, and you can access those by going to our Facebook event page. And we also have them at Smoker Friendly on Ripley Road.
Nice. Very cool. Jess, thank you so much. Thank you for taking this maiden voyage on WSN with us.
It's fun. Always an adventure.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to have you on. Always. You might have just taken over the lead as the most appearances on Hitting the Ropes, even though it's the first one on WSN. We're proud of our path. We're not jumping past that. I feel like that you might have just taken the lead as been on the show the most times.
I'm gonna need a T-shirt.
So am I.
So, it's like whenever you complete a wing challenge, like whenever you eat all the hot wings.
Right. You need a T-shirt. You need a T-shirt for it.
I'll
I'll see what I can do. I mean, I'll think about it. We'll think about it.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll
Jess,
negotiate.
yeah.
See ya.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. So that was fun.
That was really fun.
She's always a blast. She's always a blast to have on the show. And this was the first time on WSN.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Right?
It was really, really good.
It was really good. I mean, once we got the ball rolling and disaster stopped and I stopped running around here like I wanted to burn the place down. And yeah, it was great.
It was like a solid 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I keep shortening the minutes every time.
You're a fisherman, aren't you? But the opposite way. Once we found the right cord and the right box and this cord and the wrong box and this. Yeah, it has been an adventure. Guys, WSN, the WSN app on Roku TV, on Apple TV, on Amazon Fire Stick is absolutely free. There's content on there 24/7. It's all free. If you love wrestling, you cannot get sick of wrestling on the WSN app. You can also find WSN at the Wrestling Society Network.com and across all social medias everywhere, the Wrestling Society Network. And there's live shows. It's not just mine. There's so many live shows I have. So John D. Yes, John D. If as long as he doesn't break into my house again, I'll have John D. back on the show. Him on the Wrestling Society Network would be fun. There's so many live shows. There's actually a show tonight, right after mine. Professor Bear will be on live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with his wonderful show. We have a show live every single night, and the family here at the Wrestling Society Network is amazing. Please check them out. This Saturday we have an event here in Ironton, Ohio. FTC AOG Live.
That was probably my fault.
Yeah, that was definitely your phone. FTC Live here at the Art of Grappling Arena in Ironton, Ohio. Fundraiser for Cindy's Dance Studio to send those girls to nationals in Tennessee.
Dance it up.
I just happen to be related to one of those fine dancers. That is the little Miss Bay Boulder. My youngest daughter will be competing for a national. Yeah, absolutely. She's a doggone star, and she'll tell you she's a star. She's the most arrogant 9-year-old I've ever met in my life. But we were going to send those girls to Tennessee to bring home a national championship back here at Ironton, Ohio. They've done it before. They'll do it again. So that event will be here, and we're going to help them get some money to do that. And that show starts at 7, doors at 6. Tickets on sale, $20 front row, $15 for every other seat. There's not a bad seat here if you've ever been here. Jordan Carlisle, do you know who you're wrestling?
Yeah, can I go ahead and say it?
Say it.
I am wrestling. Might have seen him on AEW. Might have seen him all over the independents all over the country. Might have seen him on the TV show Heels, which is a really
It was a
fantastic
really
show.
good show. It was a really good show.
Amazing talent. So I'm actually really excited for this match. I'll be going up against Dylan McQueen.
Dylan McQueen, absolutely. Going to be a fun show. Bunch of newcomers coming into the Art of Grappling Arena. Actually, I think we're making 3. Colby Max is making her debut. We heard Boss Lady talk about Colby Max. Colby Max is making her debut against the Unpoppable Force Sarah Bubbles for her AOG championship. Damian Chambers will be here facing Lifeguard Ross for his Art of Grappling championship. Ethan Heyer will be here making his AOG debut against what is that guy's name?
Wait, who
Ethan Heyer is wrestling. Oh, me. Ethan Heyer is wrestling me.
How'd you forget?
I didn't forget. That was dramatic effect.
Oh, it was
Would
dramatic.
you calm down? We were having technical difficulties because people won't leave the stuff alone in this broadcasting studio. Would you stop, please? So great show, top to bottom. There's so many great matches. Please check it out. Doors at 6, shows at 7, and we will be back next Monday, same time. Hopefully not
Monday.
the same time. So
Oh.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I have a show. I also have a show on Monday.
Oh, you got to
The
confuse.
WSN Watch Along. So I have 2 podcasts. I'm sorry.
Who's on Wednesday?
I don't know yet. We'll figure that out at some point between now and next Wednesday. Hopefully it's not the same time because this time we were late. So hopefully next week it'll be on time at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the WSN app. As long as Jess didn't get me kicked off for saying white person taco.
It's White Person Taco Night, everybody.
Yeah, white person taco night. As long as she didn't get me kicked off the WSN, we'll be right here next Wednesday at 6:30 with a guest, and I will make that announcement later this week. Guys, thank you so much for my inaugural episode. Thank you guys for everybody that made this possible. The bloodline behind me, I acknowledge you. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week.